Hello, and welcome to my Capstone project presentation. My name is Lawana Knight. I am in the Instructional Technology Education Specialist Program at Kennesaw State University. I will graduate this fall 2018. My Capstone project centered around teaching digital citizenship in the classroom. I was able to come up with this idea based on previous survey results in which teachers conveyed their feelings about technology and how students are inappropriately using it in the classroom. A few years ago, my school became a one-to-one school, which means that every student has a personal learning device. With that, technology was kind of forced upon a lot of teachers, and a lot of teachers don't feel like they have the skills or the students have the skills in order to navigate the technological world as they should be and appropriately. So with all that, I was able to come up with an appropriate topic that addressed a need at my school. So the problem is that teachers have been complaining of students being on the internet when they're not supposed to be accessing inappropriate sites, not doing work, playing music, playing videos, plagiarism, copying others' work, cheating. And so it was kind of easy to come up with a problem. So the problem is that students lack appropriate digital citizenship skills, which in turn has increased technology related problems in the classroom. I think you can understand how that can become a domino effect if students are having problems in the classroom and all we're doing is using is technology, then grades start to falter and performance and achievement start to go down. So some of the needs that needed to be addressed would be accomplished by delivering and providing professional learning to teachers who would then in turn implement and deliver digital citizenship lessons to their students. So the professional learning needs were to increase student-teacher awareness of problems associated with the student use of technology. So teachers have to be aware of the problem before they can do anything about it. Another need or goal of that was to enhance teacher understanding of digital citizenship. In order for teachers to help students and teach students about digital citizenship, they have to know what it is first. Then we would increase the use of technology in teacher instruction, which aligns to the school's improvement plan goal and technology integration goal to use more technology in a meaningful and appropriate way, and then strengthen teacher ability to instruct students to use digital information and teaching and technology appropriately. So with that, I was able to develop my Capstone project plan. My Capstone project plan was based on my Capstone proposal that was completed in a previous class. The Capstone proposal ultimately had the goal of me creating a shared electronic portfolio of links to technology resources explaining digital citizenship. The Capstone proposal, really quickly, if you look at it, was just where I was able to talk about the context and setting of my school. What is it made? What's there? What kind of kids? What are we doing at my school? And I was able to talk about the objectives and deliverables I would do to accomplish to address the needs and problems at the school. What was my rationale for coming up with this Capstone project idea? And then as you continue to go down, there are all kinds of stuff. Every project and every project item or activity is aligned to a PSC standard, so Professional Standards Commission standard. And then as you go through it, I also included a project description and an evaluation plan for every part of the project. In turn, I had 5 different project items or activities, and each one I had to create, and each one has an evaluation piece. And then there is a timeline in here in which I laid out the time of when I would have everything done and how many hours it would take. And then finally, there's a reference page. So you can see how that goes. So it's timeline and reference page. So getting back to this, the ultimate goal is to create this electronic portfolio, which is here. And you can see it has websites, it has games, it has videos, it has the presentations, the professional learning presentations I delivered and created on my own. And then it has a section for comments. So since this is a live document, teachers can get on here and they can click on there and they can add stuff and they can leave comments, and it serves as a collaboration piece. So again, In order to accomplish the plan, I had to administer a pre-training survey. My pre-training survey was created by gathering data from a survey on technology that had been assessed before, and then I created this one with Google Forms and administered it to teachers, administrators, anybody who works with students with technology, and they had to do this before the training to basically gauge their level of technology usage, the level of digital citizenship understanding, awareness of problems associated with technology, and just to get teachers to prioritize common problems. And so you can see they had to pick 4 of the most pressing issues that needed to be addressed related to student use of technology. The second part of the Capstone project required me to develop and deliver those professional learning sessions. So in the beginning, I proposed 4 sessions, but as I got the results back, I noticed that there were a lot of similarities in the choices, and they were closely related. I also noticed that a lot of teachers picked the numbers were close. So with that, I was able to combine copying, cheating, and plagiarism into one professional learning session. I was able to combine cyberbullying and peer conflict on social media into a second session, and then the third session was email etiquette. And so to create the sessions, I had to develop the presentations, the assignments, the activities, the handouts, materials, and the session evaluations. So I pretty much had to create those from scratch and put them all in the presentation. So as an example, we can look at one of the sessions because they're all going to be formatted pretty much the same. So this is the first session on peer conflict and cyberbullying on social media. So I have a little title, some essential questions right there. And then as you go on, you'll see I have a Padlet which kids can click on, and they just answer that question right there by putting on a little sticky pad. And then it goes on, definition of social media, cyberbullying. Then there's some mini lessons with some videos, and then there's a role-playing activity that they will role play and then answer these questions. So there's some role of that. It's on there as well. And if you keep going to finish that out, you get a quick write. It's a collaborative document. Each person has to write a suggestion about how to decrease or de-escalate cyberbullying. So that's what that was right there. And at the end of each one of these professional learning and these presentations, I have a short quiz. So this is a short quiz I created on cyberbullying and peer conflict. It's really short, and it's just to assess or evaluate the content of the professional learning sessions to make sure I taught about what I was quizzing over, and to make sure the kids or the teachers first gained something from it. After that, there was also an evaluation survey on each one of these. And this was to assess the overall presentation, the overall delivery of the professional learning. Did it accomplish the goals stated and the objectives? How could it be improved? Things of that nature. And it was short as well. So again, there were 3 learning sessions. So the second one again was on plagiarism, copying, and cheating, and the third one is on email etiquette. And they pretty much go the same way, and I'll give you a brief look at this one. So it's the copying, plagiarism, and cheating. So it's the essential question, the warm-up. There's some information. There's a Google Doc I created, a presentation. There's a plagiarism worksheet that the students would do during the work period. This was, you can see stuff like that. They would plagiarize, write a reason why this would be plagiarism or not. Then there is a quiz that I created, and then you have a short quiz and an evaluation survey. And the third one's pretty much the same. The activities may change a little bit, but the format is the same. So there's the essential question, the warm-up, mini lesson, email etiquette, sort. They have to sort descriptions about email etiquette into do's and don'ts, and then cool down. They have to send an appropriate email to the teacher. Again, at the end, there's a short quiz and an evaluation survey, which again is at all 3 of those. After developing and delivering the professional learning sessions, like I said, I created and administered those short digital quizzes that I just showed you. So teachers would take those after each session, and then they would do the same, model that same lesson with their students. After that, there was also a professional learning evaluation, which I showed you, which covered the overall effectiveness of the professional learning. And finally, there was a post-training survey, which was very similar to the pre-training survey, except now you do it after you've learned. And so the questions are pretty much the same to see if teachers feel more comfortable, if teachers are more aware, and if teachers feel as if they can better teach about digital citizenship and teach kids how to appropriately use technology. So that was pretty much the Capstone project plan. As we moved on from that, the Capstone project plan, we then moved into the evaluation plan. And with the evaluation plan, every project or every research needs an evaluation plan because you want to use that to assess just kind of where you are. And with this evaluation plan, the plan was to evaluate each part, which I did, each part of the assignment. With the pre-training survey was evaluated to determine if it assessed teachers' knowledge, current levels of technology integration, willingness to participate. I looked at the quantity and quality of responses to determine that 35% of staff needed to complete the survey for it to be successful. So the results found this to be successful because more than 35% of the staff completed it. Then the second part, the professional learning training sessions, those were evaluated by giving the evaluation surveys right here. So those were evaluated like that. The short quizzes evaluated the content of the professional learning session to see if it was aligned and if the questions were good. The last part, the digital citizenship resources, that's part of the evaluation plan. As I continue to look at it, see if comments are there, see if people are using the resources and leaving questions. And then the pre-training survey and post-training survey, the results from both of those were used and compared to see if teachers felt more comfortable after, if teachers felt they were better able to teach the digital citizenship skills, if teachers felt that students responded better, if teachers felt like they could integrate more technology after. So that's how those two things were kind of compared. The Capstone experience. Capstone experience is just whether or not my goals were met. And yes, the goals were met. The objectives were covered. And you can see like teachers learned about digital citizenship and teachers were able to use their knowledge to deliver digital citizenship to the students. So with that in mind, I said I came to the conclusion that it had been met. Like I said, there were some obstacles throughout the course of the Capstone, but I made some changes. I was able to conduct walkthroughs during advisement to determine whether or not lessons were taking place. I was able to pilot the first professional learning session in my advisement. Teachers, were able to make comments and I was able to change things. So all those things kind of took place while we're looking at that. Lastly, as evaluation results, the pre-training survey was used as a validity test, kind of if I had enough teachers complete the survey, 35%, then I said that the test was valid, and we had over 35% do that. So yes, when I compared the post-training survey to the pre, it definitely said that teachers gained knowledge and felt more comfortable. And then most teachers did well on the short digital quizzes, which indicated that the questions were aligned. And then the digital portfolio was a success because I have had people email me about it. Lastly, I feel like I've gone from a teacher to a technology leader. I feel like this experience was very rewarding. I've gained immeasurable knowledge and skills, and I just feel like I have grown as a technology leader. I've learned how to conduct a needs assessment. I've learned how to come up with solutions that can fit. And furthermore, I was able to demonstrate my problem solving skills during this capstone. Even though it was time consuming, it was very rewarding, and I'm proud of the achievement I accomplished. So that's my capstone project presentation.